Alright. Hello and what is up, everybody? Welcome back to another replay cast. Or this is actually not a replay cast. Holy shit. I'm doing a live cast for once. I got used to saying that, but this is live. As we speak, it is VP versus LGD Game 1 in the Summit 7. I believe it's Summit 7. Yeah, Summit 7. Alright. I was impressed by LGD's play against, was it NP? VP kind of stomped Empire. I just think they're the better player from that region, and it's funny that they actually match up against each other in the first stages of the group stages here. I think the group stages do matter. I don't know the format for sure, but I heard it say on stream that the winner of this will get a guaranteed top 3 finish at the summit. So this game does mean a lot for both these teams, and it looks like LGD gonna go with the Drow strat once again here, it seems. I did not make it into the drafting phase, so we're gonna have no draft analysis for this game, but it's gonna make for a little bit of a shorter video. I hope you guys won't mind that. We probably don't mind that at all. Let's move it to player perspective right now. I had on directed cam. So let's check things out real quick here. What do I have on net worth right now? Let's put last hits and denies. Oh shit, we got a courier kill here by Solo. Sick play there. He's able to just... you see this a lot from support heroes where you hit decent range on them, which Warlock is a hero with decent range. Not the greatest damage in the world, but he's able to just sneak past an attack over this tree line, get the courier kill with this ward. I wonder if this ward will be dewarded, but it is kind of a big deal, as maybe will now be without his salve. And it does look like LGD going for a bit of an aggressive dual lane here, having ult 11 on this Venomancer, and we're going to see a stun into a Torrent here from Ramses, and it's going to initiate that gank, and it will result in first blood, picked up there by Lil. Clockwork just wanted to play aggressive in that lane, but the stun combination was too much for him. The lockdown and the damage was enough to take him down there. We see Solo go for a side pull here as well. It will just be a single pull, but most of these creeps should die as this camp is fairly strong. And back to talking about the draft a little bit here. It does look like LGD will go for this Drow strat they did against NP as well, but in that game they had a Storm. Here they're going to have Mavion, a bit of a less carry hero. As we see another engagement break out in this bottom lane, X mark the spot, brings 11 back into the fray, and he will go down. So 2 kills fed in this bottom lane by LGD. VP looking to be off to a good start, and in terms of dealing against a Drow strat, they don't have the best way to do so. So even though they are going to be ahead at this point, what happened to the net worth chart thing? Fuck? Did they get rid of it? That's weird. Anyway, I guess that's gone, so we're back to open up the net worth chart like the olden days. So it looks like VP will find a 1,000 gold lead at this point in the game. You look at the last hits and denies as well. We see that in the mid lane it's fairly even between Puck as well as this Death Prophet, even without or maybe without having a salve for the first few minutes of the game because his courier died. It will fly out to him along with his bottle now, and salve not really that good anymore. It doesn't actually manage to dodge the nuke there from the Death Prophet, but we'll get fine use for his salve now, and we'll also bottle crow. So I do think Puck does have a slight advantage in his lane, because if you think of Death Prophet, you think about her Spirit Siphon and the ability for her to just like play aggressively and at the same time be very hard to kill. But as a Puck, he's fairly mobile, has the phase shift to just juke out, and of course the orb can just break the chains of the Spirit Siphon. It's like Drow in the top lane will be left against the Starkseer. A relatively rough lane for her, just because last hitting her tower is a bit hard, but it doesn't look like Mint is having any trouble right now, as he... who is this player actually? Is he just mint? Is he a new player? So I know this is maybe. He just has a different tag. Oh, that's for sure. In the bottom lane, oh shit, there's another kill here. On to Old 11. Ramses, his farm is pretty good as well. Just about even with the Drow, but of course he's going to have that extra kill gold. So it's going to be 3 kills for VP in this bottom lane, but of all lanes that LGD can really afford to die on, it's his bottom lane. Sure, it's going to mean that Ramses is going to get ahead, but if you look at his level right now, he's only level 3. They're putting a lot of commitment to make sure he has a secured lane, and I do agree with that for Virtus.pro, because if Ramses fall behind this game, it's going to be very hard, as at that point LGD can just snowball off of this Drow, and Sven playing against a Venomancer with Drow Aura as well as a Puck. They're just heroes that are naturally hard for him to get on top of, and not to mention there's a Clockwork in the mix as well as a Treant. And so they're gonna commit a lot to make sure Ramses has a decent lane, but if you just look at this, the fact that LGD can feed 3 kills in this bottom lane and they're still putting pressure on the Ramses just shows that this is a very favorable matchup for LGD in this bottom lane, and the reason why Virtus.pro had committed so much to securing this lane for Ramses. And it's not like mid or the off lane need that much help either. So I do agree with how Virtus.pro has played this early game so far, but it's a question of how they're going to transition this into the mid game and deal with this Drow strategy here. The main thing is this Puck. He's going to be a big nuisance for them all game, as they only really have one disabled for him, which is the silence from no one. I'm sure they can try to X-mark him and things like that, but he's very slippery, and if he gets an orb off, phase shift, he can easily get himself out of any scenario unless he is silenced up. It looks like in the bottom lane, another death for LGD, but once again, I mean, it's not great for them, but as I said, they can afford it. And what is this? So they changed the bar into whatever this is. I don't know what that, but we're gonna see a gank here onto Ramses. And if they get a kill here, it's really big. It's pretty much gonna turn around the 4 kills that they've fed in this bottom lane entirely just off of this 1 kill. And they do get the kill there. Nice smoke gank coming in from Victoria as well as Yao. They're taking a lot of damage with the Fatal Bonds. They have a Shrine though, and oh no, Solo gets caught with a Gale. He's in a lot of trouble. He does have a TP, and he's not going to be able to use it now, as he's now trapped in the cogs with the Battery Assault. He's going to go down, and off just 2 kills, I think they completely turn around this bottom lane. At this point, Ramsey is going to have a very rough time being down here, especially if they're going to commit other heroes, and it looks like Drow will leave the top lane. Very smart play from her. She realized that her supports are showing the bottom lane. They're, of course, fighting, and there's going to be no assistance at all if he gets dove in this top lane. And you just already see Lil's looking to set up for something in this top lane, but Drow is nowhere to be found. She's in her jungle. And in terms of tower pushing for Virtus.pro as well, they're going to have a rough time against this Treant. They have to really fully commit with the DP ult, maybe Sven ulti as well, and just melt that tower. Otherwise, it's going to get healed up. And in terms of just raw tower damage, and by raw tower damage, I mean like a hero being able to take a tower on their own in this game, they don't really have that. I'm sure Sven can do a decent amount of tower damage, can use the Warcry to help the Creep Wave tank up, but in terms of just being able to walk up to a tower and just hit it casually and take it down against a Treant, they don't really have the heroes to do so. They have to group up, and they have to commit fully to taking these tower pushes. Oh, in the bottom lane, we see Old 11. It's a Gale onto Ramses, and isn't he the... Oh, he is the offlane player, never mind. I thought he was the support player, but... he's taking offlane and roll this game. He's gonna go for the Gale build, and I played Venomancer with this build against with a Drow on my team, and I gotta tell you guys, it's very strong. He may look like he's feeding a little bit right now, 1-3 and 1, but at any point, he can dish out the damage, and also gonna kite this Sven very well, as we see a fight break out in this bottom lane, but no one will TP in. Does commit the DP ultimate with an Arcane Rune, so not bad usage of it there. They do lose Solo, but they turn that around and they might do some damage to this tower. But once again, they have to make sure they kill it, otherwise it's gonna be healed back up by the Treant Protector. And they find Old 11 in the trees here. They try to hit the torrent and will miss, and he's gonna be able to juke away. He had a pretty big wand there, but nope, no one tracks him down, gets the kill there, and they're going to commit to this tower. In the meantime, maybe looking to do a bit of a backstab here onto Virtus Pro. He's not going to be able to catch anybody at the moment, and he does not actually have Dream Coil, and Clockwork TV's back in, just gets melted by Ramses and no one. Maybe wants to come back in. His Dream Coil is cooling down. He goes forward onto Lil, gets X-Bar back. Maybe good for him actually. That will allow him to be a little bit closer to where the action is. But he's deciding to back off for now. Maybe looking to go for a bit of a wraparound once again here. And he's trying to do it. Does have the vision here from the Dire Ward. And actually opting to just try to grab a bounty and get away, and he'll do just that. In the meantime, Ramses is going to commit his ultimate to farm up this big stack here. He does not want to get it stolen. But speaking about that, Old 11 going to make his way in. Ramses is out of mana, and he does not have mana to use this stun, so he's going to back himself away. But in the meantime, Solo gets caught by Yao, and he's going to go down. And in the meantime, Drow gonna rotate into this bottom lane. They want to go for a push of their own. She was just laying low for a little bit, but realizing that all her team is in this bottom lane, she's gonna take use of this opportunity and try to take this tower. But meanwhile, in the mid lane, Lil and No One gonna take out Victoria. And between Victoria and Old 11, there are a lot of deaths. 8 deaths. All 8 of the kills from Virtus Pro gonna be on either Victoria or Old 11. But in the bottom lane, they will take this tower. They committed the Warlock Golem to try to defend, but Solo just gonna go down. I don't know what he's doing down here. Maybe he expected some help from his team, but will get punished for it. And they committed Warlock Golem to accomplish pretty much nothing. Fed the Golem away to LGD as well. Meanwhile, Victoria just really wants his level 6, and that's why he's sitting in the mid lane there, and that's always feels bad man scenario when you're a support. You just want your level 6 just sitting in a lane and you just can't get your experience. You're gonna get gone on, you're gonna die, and it's just a losing battle. But he finally will get his level 6 in the top lane, and just look how careful he was playing there. He did not want to go down again, and so he will get his level 6 at this point. He gets a ward out as well. And we see maybe also rotating up to this top lane. He is very close to his Blink Dagger, and he should farm it up real quick here. And you look at Drow, and she went straight into stats. This is just showing that she's probably wanting to lay low for most of this game and just kind of provide an aura. Not really wanting to get involved in much of these early game fights. She's probably going to continue to build like this, just straight into tank up and make sure she survives if she gets gone on. She is very susceptible to just dying if anyone gets on top of her, so she's not even going to bother in terms of trying to build defensive items. She might build into a full Hurricane Pike just for the extra force staff, but at this point I'm assuming he's just going to just go straight into stats and be as tanky as possible. So if she ever does get gone on, there's a chance that she survives and they turn around the fight. But at this point, she's probably going to play mostly in the back and away, definitely far away from the Death Prophet and the Sven, as far away as possible. And you see Yao as well as Old 11 set up in this bottom lane here. They find a Gale onto Lil. They come out with the Treant Bash as well, Nature's Guys, but they're going to get this turn around on them as the boat going to come out from Lil. Pasha comes in and will secure the kill there into Treant. Old 11 is running for his life, but Pasha's hot on the pursuit. He's going to be able to run right up there with the Surge, and he's going to eat a Gale to the face, but with the Surge, he won't really care about this. He's not going to use it quite yet. He will actually Surge Lil, as Lil is the one with the disable. He's already used his Vacuum, but they don't actually manage to hit the torrent, and Old 11 is juking them. They will get spotted out by his own illusion here created from the wall, but in the meantime, maybe comes in with a Dream Coil, and oh, pretty big stun here by Ramses. The Fatal Bonds comes out as well, and this is huge. Clockwork goes down without casting a spell. Maybe goes down as well. Now the Drow will show up, but at this point it's too late. Ramsey's just going to TP himself out. They don't have any stuns available anymore, and Venomancer are going to get X-Marked back into a Warlock Golem. He's going to go down, and now Drow's in a lot of trouble as no one's got on top of her with the Spirit Siphon. Yule's going to send her up in the air as well into a Torn. It's going to be a full 5-man wipe for Virtus.pro. A Rampage? What? I just realized that. Alright, that deserves the all-chat Russian. I don't know what that means, but... And he's gonna TP right back to the base, get X marked, and he's full HP and mana once again. It's a very sick thing you can do with a support Sven, or not Sven, Kunkka, or just Kunkka in general. Doesn't have to be a support. I just realized that because I thought the Sven got the kills there, but it was just all him. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kills for solo. What in the world? How often does that happen? A 5-position Warlock getting a Rampage. That's gotta be a rare occurrence, and it was just because of the Fatal Bonds there. We saw him get the kills there onto both, I believe it was Maybe as well as Clockwork, right? With the Fatal Bonds. I thought it was Sven getting the kills, but it was actually him with the Fatal Bonds doing a ton of that damage. I'm sure Ramsey's dishing it out initially, but the Fatal Bonds just amplified that. It actually ended up taking out Maybe there at the end, because he might have gone out without that. And the Golem ended up taking out the Venomancer as well, and I think Tree died in the back somehow, maybe the Fatal Bonds or to a right click or something like that, and I'm pretty sure they gave him the Rampage there onto the Drow. Someone easily could have stolen it, but they're probably paying attention. Certainly I wasn't. I did not expect that at all. For sure I thought Sven got the kills there. Should have saw the Ultra kill, but I was more distracted by what was going on and covering the action there. That was a pretty chaotic fight for both teams. And we saw it start out there with Virtus.pro just going for a deep chase there onto the Venomancer, and LGD tried to turn it around and it did not work out for them at all, as it looks like LGD gonna go in and try to take out this tower with the catapult pushing in. Yao tries to get caught out there by Pasha, but he's just gonna casually stroll away there. I noticed the build from him though, opting for the max point in Nature's Guise. Treant moves very slowly now after their nerf. Notice that he also went for the Tranquil Boots, and having the extra points in Nature's Guise means that he can just move around a lot faster. Without 3 points in it, he's gonna be pretty slow without the phase boots as well, and he can't really move freely in the jungle pretty much. Oh, he's actually gonna walk himself into a sentry here, and just just runs right out. No problem there. Just still be careful though. Do they have detection for him on anybody? No, they do not. They're gonna send a scan for him, but he's gonna be able to get himself away. He's just causing a lot of nuisance here for Virtus.pro. In the meantime, now pushing the top lane. She will be building for Asad Yasha, once again for the stats and the extra tank. And the bottom lane, Virtus.pro gonna try to commit for this tower, and they will take it out. They're currently grouped up as all 5 here. They're looking to put the pressure onto LGD. If you look at the net worth advantage, it's going to be about a 5,000 advantage for Virtus.pro. Not too significant at this point in time, while it looks like Treant finally getting caught out, walking into another sentry while in the top lane. I was getting simultaneously caught out here by no one, but really nice silence coming out from her. Make sure that she silences Ramsey so he cannot use his stun. His TP's out. Maybe was lurking behind there as well, but he does have a haste here and going to run himself away. So I still think this is anyone's game. The big thing for Virtus.pro is making sure they get their combo off. It's that huge vacuum into Sven's stun, into the cleave, as well as the Fatal Bonds, potentially the Warlock ultimate. That's when they're going to win. If LGD manages to take a chaotic fight and maybe get a pick off at the start, or just split Virtus Pro's attention in a way that they can't just do their full Wombo combo. And they have the heroes to do so. They have Clockwork, Treant, Silence from the Puck, Venomancer creates a lot of chaos in the fight as well. He's just spewing his ultimate onto everybody, causing them to slowly take it down. And with that, I think the best way for LGD to try to take a fight is for Virtus Pro to like go on them first. The last thing they want to do is try to just dive straight into Virtus Pro. That's gonna be when Pasha can get the counter initiation off. He can get the big vacuum into Sven stun, into just full 5-man wide easy kill. So LGD really wanted to just bait Virtus Pro into going into them first, as we saw in that bottom lane fight, but we saw it didn't even pay out there for them, as they didn't quite get the damage out in time to take out Virtus Pro, as they're very tanky. They have the Warcry, the boat as well, the mech onto the Dark Seer, and he has the Blink Dagger now, and so we can see him go in for those big vacuum plays. And so as you see, LGD just going to try to avoid Virtus Pro at this point in time. I know it could be one bad fight, and that's Roshan next, potentially in the game. So they're just trying to split push, do the most they can off the map without running straight into Virtus Pro. And you see that they try to catch out Solo here, but they won't manage to take him out as he gets surged away, and they're going to go back to farming. As for Virtus Pro, they're just looking for other objectives right now. They're knowing that LGD are just trying their best to avoid them at this point, and they just want to go down and take towers. Ramsey is nearing a BKB, and once he has that, they're going to be a lot stronger, as he will not be affected by the things such as the Venomancer ultimate. He will still be affected, but he won't take damage, of course. The Gale is very important for him to just avoid, as being kited is his bane in this game. Of course, their team fight is kind of one and done, in a sense where he's just going to blink in and do most of his damage, so I'm surprised he did not go for a Blink Dagger. He's opting for Mask of Madness and Echo Saber at this point, but maybe he feels like his position is going to be good. The move speed for the Mask of Madness is enough to get him into position to dish out the damage. So this thing, if he does go Blink right and he goes in, Venomancer Gales him, and then they kite him, they get some Force Staffs and things like that. So that's what Old Eleven's building into. It's not going to be much of use for him, and not to mention is if he ever walks into like a Venomancer ward, or he gets poison on him or something like that, of course he's not blinking at that point. So he's just opting for the BKB and relying on his move speed. Of course, they have the Surge to bring him into the fight as well. And once again, they have a decent amount of setup too. See, Pasha gonna have to go to the bottom lane, deal with the split push from Maybe. This is gonna be something that's gonna be a constant threat for Virtus Pro, but they do have the heroes that can deal with it fairly well in terms of their ability to push out lanes. They're having some pretty good heroes to do so. Of course, Dark Seer can just pop Iron Shell on a wave, it just pushes out by itself. Sven pushes waves very quickly with his cleave, and of course, Death Prophet has her nukes. But just notice where LGD are positioned right now on the map. They're completely spread out. They want to just split the map. Puck is very hard to catch out at this point. So you notice maybe he's playing very aggressively. He also has a backup from Victoria in case anything goes wrong. But as you see, Virtus Pro realizing that they don't want anything to do with this. They don't want to commit too much attention on this puck. They're just going to do their own thing here and take Roshan. It's going to be an Aegis onto no one. But at this point, they know that Virtus Pro are in the Rosh Pit, so they're going to replace Puck with a Drow here. With an Arcane Rune, by the way. But at this point, they're making a beeline towards her, so she will probably have to just TP away. But actually, LG looking to set up a play here. Notice their position, notice their movement right now, and they realize that Virtus Pro haven't been in this area for a long time. They probably don't have wards, and they might catch a hero out, potentially warding, like Solo might walk up, and this is giving them a potential to get an easy pick off and maybe take a 4v5 fight. But it doesn't look like Virtus Pro will move into this area at all. They're going to use scans to just make sure that there's no one waiting. They realize this is what is coming for them, and they're not going to fall for it. And now they're going to spot Drow onto a ward right now, and they're going to feel more confident to move up and play aggressively. As we see here, they get an X mark onto Old 11, but he's going to eat a hook shot, or Lil's going to eat a hook shot to the face, preventing his combo. And in the meantime, the Clockwork will get paid, or he will pay for his hook with his life. And in the back lane here, Yao goes down as well. We just see the pick-on potential here from the Kunkka. Just getting that X mark, it's so annoying to deal with, but it's going to mean that Old 11 does survive, or does he? He does force staff away. That was a close one. Lil was mid-animation there on his X mark, but so Old 11 will get away. In the meantime, maybe is pushing out the bottom lane. Drow is pushing top. They're still looking to play the split push game. They lost both of the supports there, but to me, it's really no big deal for them. Like, alright, we saved Old 11. We lost supports. We're going to go back to what we're doing. We choose some space for our Drow, as well as maybe, and they're just stalling at this point, right? So Virtus.pro has the Aegis, and the more fights that result in Virtus.pro not really taking a tower or doing anything, the better for LGD at this point. They really don't want to go for a 5v5 where they will most likely lose, and at that point they might be at threat of losing our racks. So as you see here, every time Virtus.pro makes a move to try to go down a lane, both Drow as well as Puck are off in their own lanes trying to push it out as far as possible. As we see, maybe actually make his way back. He did send the creep wave into the tower, but he realized that he isn't needed and he didn't have a TP, so he's gonna have to walk himself back and prepare to defend high ground, while Drow looks like she still wants to keep going for as long as possible too. She's really needed, but now, well, maybe in a lot of trouble. But no one gets in duels, dodges the silencer, or no one actually misses the silence. And oh, you see Ramsey comes in and he BKB popped. He cleaves down the Puck. The vacuum, a little bit of miscommunication there, as Ramsey's really would have wanted that vacuum towards him, but instead it's going to actually bring the heroes away from Ramsey's and on the other side of the cogs. So that does mean that LGD will hold high ground. Drow, though, in a lot of trouble as the TPs come back for her. She goes down. Ramses and Lil will punish her for her split push. You know what the heck is happening in the bottom lane? Solo gets another kill for himself here. And Victoria in a lot of trouble as well. Look at the slow from the upheaval. That's going to be 4 kills for LGD. Meanwhile, Yao looking to try to cancel TPs or something, but he doesn't have his ultimate. And he has to be pretty careful as there's sentries in the area right up ahead of him. So it looks like LGD, they're gonna lose 4 heroes, but once again, they hold the high ground. They don't lose the game. And not losing the game off of this Aegis onto no one is gonna be, or not losing the game, but losing a Rax. It's gonna be a pretty big deal for LGD. And I'd say they're not happy, but they're okay with what happened so far. Could have gone worse, but it's just their split push plays forced Virtus.pro back. Didn't allow them to commit for the high ground, and they don't even lose a tier 3, and it's going to get healed up, of course, from the Treant Protector. 20 points in living armor as they have now, just 2. And that's the downside of going this build, which means you're going to be able to get a lot less healing out of your living armor, but it's a slow and steady grind to heal up buildings. And Virtus.pro don't want to give LGD any time here. They want to go straight back into this bottom lane while this Aegis is still up. It's expiring fairly right now, actually. So not gonna have an Aegis for this one. Yao is already in position. He is standing under a sentry as well as a ward on the high ground here. He's gonna get himself caught into X-Mark Torrent. Ramsey comes in with the stun. Pasha is already in there as well with his blink, and Yao is just gonna go down. He does have buyback, but his spawn timer is not that much. He will probably have to commit here, as here comes a Death Prophet ultimate, the God Strength as well towards the high ground, and initiation from Pasha. 2-man vacuum wall. The golem comes a little bit late, doesn't really hit the stun there, but now Venomance is still gonna go down, and he will be forced to buy back. In the meantime, Victoria goes down as well to the Sven. Again, look at Drow. He's just trying to split push. They lose the racks there, but Drow is realizing that there was not much she could have done if she was there, and the fact that they did do this much damage to tier 3 is a small victory for LGD, but at the end of the day, that's a pretty big win for Virtus Pro. That is Rax. Oh, they're going to try to catch some stragglers now as Yao, or Lil, going to get caught up by Yao. He's going to try to throw a boat out to be as techy as possible. He's just going to dig into the face. He's going to go down. Meanwhile, the Warlock Golem looking to cut off the next creep wave. It's going to be a bit annoying if LGD want to just push out this bottom wave at all. Not only are they playing as Mega Creep, there's a Golem preventing their creeps from spawning or pushing out of the base. And we see Drow going straight into a Maelstrom right after a BKB. As they realize they will have to be playing against one lane of super creeps right now. Not quite Mega Creeps yet. Solo, even though he did get a rampage, is looking pretty poor. Let's open a net worth real quick here, and he is near the bottom. He's barely ahead of Yao actually, and it just shows he's not committing any of his time to like farming. He didn't go for a minus tonight. The fact that they did group up a lot. His kill score is looking pretty gnarly, but he's still pumping most of his gold into support items here. As Lil will go for the support items as well. Blink for initiation. I believe he went for force and then a blink. So really not opting for more core oriented Kunkka build that we kind of saw from players like Lanham, where he would go for like an armlet. He's opting for fully support Kunkka, initiator Kunkka. So we see from Solo here, what is he going to be building into Solar Crest? It seems he needs to go for a casual cloak, might build that into a Glimmer later. As for no one, he's going to go straight into, well, not straight into Octarine. He actually veered off into a Plate Mail for a second there, maybe contemplating a Shiva's Guard, but we'll decide to just go for Octarine for the lower cooldowns. As for the net worth advantage, let's open up real quick here. It will be around a 15,000 advantage for Virtus Pro. Not insurmountable from LGD, but it's definitely looking rough as the death push is looking like it's coming for Virtus Pro. And what will the answer be to it, as Drow actually realized she needs to fight at this time. She's not going to be split pushing, she's in base, and since Clockwork will be splitting to get as much experience farm as he can, as he's looking pretty bad at this point, only around 500 net worth above, or less than that, above the lowest net worth in the game. We see Old 11 immediately initiate on here. He does not have buyback, he goes down. The root does come out, stops Ramses from dishing out damage with his BKB, and now maybe going to come in with the silence. The tower's taking a lot of damage from the Death Prophet ultimate. The Golem is here as well, but it's going to get focused down. It doesn't matter that it has all that armor. Drow is dishing out pretty good damage at this point. She's level 18, does have her 3 points in her ultimate at this point, but they're looking to continue this push. Hookshot going to come in now as the Rack is under threat, and Ramsey comes straight onto the Drow here. She does not have her BKB available, and as a result, she's going to go down dead for 60 seconds without buyback, and this is looking to be another set of Racks from Virtus Pro, if not the game. The Sven is falling low, but he is getting healed up by Solo, and good game's just going to be called. Virtus Pro going to take this game 1 against LGD. Looked like they had a solid grasp on this game. They approached the laning stage very well, made sure that Sven had a decent start. At some point, LGD did put some pressure back onto Ramses, but they're able to kind of trade evenly at that point. Didn't really cause Ramses to ever fall behind that much at all. As for the Drow, she really had to just evacuate herself from the top lane and wasn't able to farm it after a certain point in time when her teammates weren't going to be able to protect her anymore, and easy rotation in from the Kunkka or anybody could result into a kill. At that point, she retreated into the jungle, didn't really put any space on the map for her team. As a result, Virtus Pro kind of farmed up, got their core items, and the big turning point of course was that bottom fight where Solo got that rampage. They thought they could turn that fight around as Old 11 was creating a lot of space. They were chasing him for quite some time, didn't manage to catch him out, and maybe look to go in with the backstab to get the counter initiation, get the catch onto Virtus.pro when they weren't prepared, but they were. As you saw there, they got the sick two-man stun from Ramses into the Fatal Bonds. That really secured the fight for Virtus.pro once maybe went down, as well as their Clockwork. And at that point, they were getting chased down one by one, and we saw the Kunkka just, once the fight went Virtus.pro's way, there was actually no way that LGD can leave. The main thing was for them to just take out Puck first, as he was the hero that actually could get away and come back in, maybe cause a little bit of more disruption in the fight. So at any point in this game, they really wanted to just focus on Maybe, and it showed. As he multiple fights, he was one of the first heroes to die, and that just caused LG to fall apart with Maybe gone. And with that, it was just X mark after X mark after X mark. There was no escape for LGD, and very good usage of the Kunkka there, and we'll see if they decide to pick it more in the future, as that hero's found his way somewhat back into the meta. A lot of teams are picking it up. We saw NP pick it up multiple times. LGD did find a victory against the Kunkka in that game 3. I didn't watch game 1, so I'm not sure what NP had there, but impressive game from Virtus.pro. Looked pretty clean. At no point they felt like they were at any threat of losing the game. They were just a bit annoyed by a draft split push, but solid strategy. All their timings worked out, and in general, there's nothing bad to say about Virtus.pro. They, from landing stage to execution of the mid game and how they wanted to push, everything worked out for them. And for LGD, they might have to rethink their strategy a little bit and make adjustments to how Virtus.pro like to play this early game, because I feel like that's where they ran into the most trouble. At some point, Virtus.pro had 8 kills, and all 8 of the deaths were onto Victoria and Old 11, and I feel like that's not good. I feel like if that was a little bit less there, they were able to do a little bit better in that bottom lane, they would have had a lot better chance in this game. And the fact that we're just feeding that many kills away to Virtus.pro, the fact that just the supports were getting that much experience from those kills, as well as just the gold as well, it's gonna be a big deal when it comes to taking those early game fights afterwards, as just the supports on the enemy team having a little bit of an edge will turn the tide of the battle there. So that's gonna be enough for my analysis of this game. I hope you guys enjoyed. I haven't done one of these live casts in a while. I have a bit of a stuffy nose, sorry guys if you can hear that, but that's how it goes. I mean, I'm doing it live, no time to delay, so see you guys in the next one. I'll probably do game 2 of this one as well, maybe with the draft. I'm not so sure. I might just watch the draft on my own, and yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys in the next one. Peace out.